Hey peeps, Ross Singh with Clear Lake Guide Service here. I'm going to give you our fishing report for today, or actually for this week. Today's date is January 30th, and I'll tell you what, right now it actually feels like it's springtime, with one minor exception. The fish aren't acting like it. So, conditions. Water clarity, I've stayed down below the Narrows today. It's the only day I've gotten out this week. Been gone doing things. The water temperature got up to 50 degrees down on this end. Coolest I saw it when we started out at the county park was 49 and a half. So I think I saw up to 50.2 today. So pretty amazing water temperature for the end of January. But that's a big part, is just how warm a days we've had, how nice a days. I mean, you can see what's in the background of this video. It's a beautiful afternoon out here. I wish I didn't have to cut it short today, but we got things to do. So, water temperature, water clarity, another story. It's got a different color. It's kind of continued to get a little bit on the brownish side. It still would rank as being clear. I can still see 2 to 3 feet, depending on exactly where you are. At least down the parts that I've been in today, it could be clearer and it could be muddier, depending on if you got to a part of the lake that I did not see today. Water level, hanging in there. We're still a little over 4 points. I think we're right around 4.7. So we're about almost 3 feet short of being full. A lot of people are already asking me, are we going to get enough rain to fill it up again this year? You know, not a weatherman, but at this point in time, I'd be willing to bet on February and March catching us up. It's not going to take a whole lot of rain to get another 3 feet in the lake. So, conditions, you got water temperature, you got water color, you got a lake level. Fishing, let's do activity first. Activity for this coming weekend, as far as I know, there isn't any, with one major exception. The following weekend, which is the weekend of the 8th, February 8th, there's going to be a Wild West Bass Tournament team event here, which means I believe they get cut off Sunday night this weekend. This weekend. They get cut off Sunday night, which means there's going to be a lot of activity out here on Saturday and Sunday. Folks trying to get their pre-fish wrapped up and figure out what's going on. So I look for it to be a busy weekend. Saturday looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day. Try to enjoy it if you can. Sunday looks like it could be pretty nasty. The weather forecast, it looks like the air temperature is going to drop maybe 15 to 20 degrees. That's not a good sign. So there's your activity level, conditions. Now the bite. While I was gone, I was hearing that the bite had gotten tough. Some people were only catching 1 fish, 2 fish, no fish. I know a club tournament was up here last weekend, and I believe it was 22 or 23 pounds, somewhere 21 to 23 pounds won it. My experience today, for the little amount of fishing I actually did, I probably spent as much time running around graphing, looking for fish, as I did actually fishing. I didn't have that great a day either, so it catches up with everybody eventually. The fish I caught were really healthy, nice looking fish. There just weren't enough of them, so it was not what I have experienced up until the last time that I was out. So I would not call it awesome fishing. I would not rate it as good fishing right now. I would rate it as very questionable. If you're in the right place at the right time doing the right thing, you're going to have a good day. And if you're not, I've talked to enough people this week and today while I was on the water to understand that when a live bait guy doesn't get bit, that's not a good sign. So I'm going to fix this time. Sorry about that. So when it just seems like the lower end of the lake, kind of the feel that is there, probably bigger fish, probably less of them. With this warmer temperature, the upper end is getting a little bit warmer and shallower water. These fish are going to get a little bit more active until a change comes, i.e. this coming Sunday. And you're probably going to see maybe better numbers on the upper end, but probably smaller fish. Now, there's still smaller fish by Clear Lake standards, which means probably 2 to 3 pounders with an occasional 4 mixed in there, but I have not heard of any, truly big fish coming out on the upper end yet. So almost all of it that you're hearing around the lake is the A-rig. A few fish being taken on swim baits. There's still some underspin activity. There's still a little bit of rip bait activity. Couldn't tell you anything else as far as jigs or worms. I know that we caught some wormfish the tail end of last week one day, but honestly that was the only day we actually tried, and Jim had a pretty good day throwing them right after a day that we had a good day throwing small swim baits. So I've been asked by a couple of people today about crappie bite. As I told you, I've done a lot of graphing today, and I haven't seen anything. I've not seen a single school of fish that I would classify as crappie. So, and I have not seen anybody fishing for them. Having said that, that doesn't mean it's not going on somewhere that I haven't seen. So I will report on crappie when I see and hear of it, but at this point in time, I'm not seeing it, I'm not hearing it, so I'm not going to just guess. So there's your report for today. Bookings pretty much got April full, so if you're looking to get up here, I would say you're probably looking at March and maybe the tail end of May, and those are two pretty distinct different times to be fishing here. March is going to be 100% still pre-spawn fishing, and when you get into May, it may be a combination, just depends on the conditions. It may be sight fishing, could be topwater, could be square bills, could be chatterbaits. It's going to be reaction baits, plastics probably. That's a normal May. So anybody has any questions or wants to get in touch with me about guiding, please give me a call at 707-349-1427. You can find the reports on Clear Lake Guide Service on Facebook, and you can also find it at clearlakeguideservice.com on the web. That's where you can find our booking calendar and get updated on what's going on as far as my availability. Even if you see that I'm not available, don't be afraid to call, send me a text message or an email, because we can get you hooked up with Jim, and I'll tell you that's not much of a step down. Jim's my buddy. Usually if one of us knows what's going on, the other one does. So thanks a bunch. Have a good weekend. Caleb, hopefully we can see you pretty soon.